Hello and welcome to Glitch Point.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it's Wednesday, but we're here, and yeah, there's a lot to talk about. I think first and foremost, we need to talk about the Blizzard Activision
Oh boy,
debacle. Yeah, I mean, it's just because we're in the tech news. I believe it's something that we need to comment on a little bit. I mean, it's a tragedy,
it
and
is.
I'm kind of glad that it's getting outed though. I mean, because this is something that I feel like is not just at Blizzard Activision.
Not at
I
all.
feel like it's a problem with a lot of just. I've been thinking about this a lot in the last couple of days. I think it's just the company culture that has been created in the video game industry. This lacks, I mean, just the fact that they were drinking and at work and like all this stuff. It feels like it's too lax. Like there's not enough
Yeah, I mean
structure.
it's a yeah, I mean it's a young industry, and I would say that like probably every industry has gone through these growing pains of like figuring out where's the line. And it's I mean with games they're so creative, so a lot of people do want to create this like culture where yeah, drinking at work is fine and some other things, but it I don't know if it's okay.
Yeah, but the problem with any big company is you can't account for everybody's personality type. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could do
Yeah.
evaluations, but that kind of culture works for small. I mean, that's why it was in the video game culture to begin with because they were smaller companies. There were less people. But now you're talking about huge companies, and you just can't have that same culture in
Well,
that.
yeah, and I think that's a problem that has yet to be solved, and I don't know when it will be. Of just, I don't think video games have figured out how to be at scale.
Yeah,
At any part of like development hasn't figured. No part of the games industry has figured out how to do it at scale, and the only transition we've seen has been from smaller studios getting a shitload of money from people who aren't even in games, bringing up their culture. Because I mean, that's a huge problem with a lot of these game studios as well. And to be honest, when Activision joins the studio, is they kind of start infecting that studio with the Activision culture, which is not good.
yeah. And I mean, it's just, this could have been just the response. I mean, I think that's why, today, I guess there's just a bunch of people that are protesting and did a walkout today, like 1,000 employees. But it's just due to their stupidity. I mean, like just eat it.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
it's really bad. I mean, I know that I mean, even more stuff came out this morning of like evidence of other things that has been rumored, and it's just day by day is getting worse.
But just why even fight it? It's like you're in the wrong, and of course this is going to happen. It's going to create a public camaraderie about this problem that needs to be solved in the industry. And all you can do is Activision Blizzard and be like, we messed up, and we need to do better, but not to
Yeah, but I
not
mean
to
they
attack
have
back.
not had the history because I mean this is not Blizzard Activision's first
No.
time into anything, and arguably I surprised I don't know if this lawsuit has been in the works. I could have sworn they were going through these charges years ago, but maybe these are new ones, or I need to like really dive into it. But this is definitely not the first time from this company.
Yeah, no, it's not, and it's the DFEH, or I think they've been doing a 2-year investigation.
Gotcha, that makes
So,
sense.
and now it's the lawsuit is coming to fruition. But yeah, I mean, the only way, I mean, there just needs to be mass firings in certain, because you see stuff like this, and it's definitely a trickle down
Yes.
problem. I mean, this just seems like it's coming from the top. There are definitely issues with the way that the environment is being run from top down, and
Yeah.
that needs to be solved. And if they just scapegoat it and not deal with it, then it's just going to continue to happen. And I think that this is just going to explode. Hopefully, it explodes this time. I hope people don't stop pressuring them because this
Yeah,
doesn't
I
belong in
think
games.
no, and I think that part that maybe why this hasn't been solved is the people in charge of doing those mass firings are the people that are accountable for this type of behavior.
Yeah, but I mean, they could force a step
Yeah,
down. I mean, it's California that is coming, that is putting out this lawsuit. Um, I mean, the DFEH is a department of the, because it's the Fair Employment and something fair. I don't know. Department of Fair Employment. That's the good part. I don't know what the H is. I forgot what the H. But the employment's the part that we care about.
yeah,
Um, And so, yeah, I mean, I can see that top level individuals should step down. It really depends how if the employees keep pushing, and keep trying to make this something of this, then I think that something good will happen.
Yeah, and I mean
But
the good thing is because the industry's small, there's a lot of support going around, and like there are a lot of studios who don't have this type of culture who are more than willing to, if people quit and don't want to work for Blizzard if they don't make the changes that they need to. There's I wouldn't say plenty of places for them to go, but there's a lot of places for them to go.
yeah, and I wonder, if this is an Activision thing, that came into because before Activision and Blizzard, you know,
Well,
commingled or
I
whatever.
mean, yeah, but I mean they've been commingled since like early 2000,
It
and
has been a long time.
that's the other thing that I feel that sometimes is forgotten is like Blizzard is not owned by Activision. They are a single thing. Like it is the
Yeah,
company's Blizzard Activision or whatever. I don't know if it's Activision Blizzard or whatever. So like
it's like Square Enix.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been long enough that it's hard to just say like, oh, Blizzard did this or Activision. It's all one big culture, and
The
I
only reason I
think that's
say
the
that
problem.
is because I love Blizzard's franchises, and
I
so
know,
it's
and I
just
think that's why it's so hard for fans right now, is they
it
love
sucks.
Blizzard, but
Yeah,
it's also the tough part of there's a lot of people at Blizzard that aren't there anymore, and like Blizzard is just a company name.
yeah. No,
Um,
that's very true.
so,
Um,
and it doesn't take away. Yes, they have made great games and everything, but it's I don't know. Even
well,
their
if they
games have
don't
had
do
some
anything,
issues in like with when they announced their Diablo mobile game. Like they haven't. I don't remember the last time Blizzard was a very positive PR. It's been years.
well, I think that they also had like a huge drop lately. I heard, I think from Linus Tech Tips, but a huge drop in World of Warcraft during the pandemic. So it actually
Interesting.
fared fairly poorly. I haven't looked up. I never
Well, I
looked
mean,
up that
yeah, I
fact,
mean,
but
even there was that. Like, a lot of people got upset when Blizzard removed like community servers so that they could make money off of World of Warcraft Classic, and then
yeah,
the Diablo thing, and then the whole Hong Kong thing, and then
yeah.
when they fired like 600 people, it's just, oh boy.
Yeah, no, I mean I guess it's good. It needs to happen, but
Yeah, it's gonna be a slow, painful process for that company.
oh yeah, I mean through this lawsuit, they're going to continually be in the news.
Yeah,
So
and I have a feeling that worse things are gonna come out. I don't know. I feel like the worst is yet to come.
it sounds pretty bad already.
Yeah, see, I thought that yesterday, but then this morning when I don't know if you saw the thing about the Bill Cosby suite that a couple of the people at Blizzard had back in like 2013.
No, I didn't. I
Oh
saw.
boy,
Oh, really?
don't read into it. It's just awful to read. And like I said, after reading that, I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if this could be the worst thing. I don't know. That's fucking awful.
Okay, I'll have to read it after the show. I don't really. I mean, this is up to each individual to pursue.
Yeah, it's not really
because
a podcast thing to talk about, but it's awful.
Yeah, no, it is. I
The
mean,
guy
we have
has
to
been
discuss
fired
it.
since, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cases like this, and it just needs to be safe. I mean, it's tragic because games, we all get into games for a very different reason than this.
Yeah.
And so it just taints the entire world, and like especially somebody that loves Blizzard games and grew up playing, these games, and then it's like they get there and they get, and that's terrible. I mean,
Yeah. No.
it kind of destroys dreams a little bit, but that
Yeah, I mean, we saw this type of cultural. I mean, not. I'm not going to say this type because it has obviously gone off the rails over at Blizzard's part of it. But like we saw Activision from the inside out kill Bungie for years, and I'm glad they were able to get out when they did, and they've recovered. And it seems like their culture has definitely like gotten back to what they used to be. But I don't know. Activision is not a good thing for the industry, I don't think.
No, and that's been across the board. You're very right. I mean,
No, I think I can't remember where it was, but I think I was reading or it was part of some early documentary about Atari. Nolan Bushnell at like early on said when Activision was starting up, he was like he called them a cancer like right away back in like the late 70s. He's like whatever
Really?
Activision's doing is just stupid and it shouldn't be happening. And it's just funny how that has aged. I'll
Yeah.
have to figure that out. I think it was like the Atari documentary about when they dumped the ET games.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't remember that quote, but I definitely saw that
Yeah.
documentary. But yeah, I mean, if these things aren't handled, it's the same. You create because the people at the top hire people that are like them, and then it
Yep.
just becomes, as they quoted in the thing, a frat boy um, scene or whatever. I forget the exact words, but um, yeah, I mean, and it just shouldn't be happening. And also, I mean, it spreads to other companies because as you get, if somebody's like that and gets promoted and then they get a job at a different company, then it can affect various
Yeah.
neighboring, franchises. And it's just stupid.
Yeah, it
And
is.
this shit really needs to stop because, I'm a man and I want to be clean of this type of. I feel like it's hard enough to be a white man in this world without these assholes. I mean, it's not hard, of course. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just take a
No.
lot of flack lately. Uh,
There's some real pieces of shit in this world.
yeah, there's some real pieces of shit. I just don't want to be tied to them anymore. I just
Yeah,
want to,
I don't want to be associated with a lot of the pieces of shit in the world.
yeah,
But
be nice. Okay,
well,
well, yeah. Do you said you had a couple stories as well?
yeah, I mean today out of no well yesterday out of
I know what
nowhere
you're
and
gonna
then
say.
today, yeah, Halo Infinite got some
Yep.
juicy details. And it's
Yeah, I watched
I
it.
mean, yeah, the couple things that I was very impressed with, well, the big thing I was impressed with was the settings of all the things they showed. They have so many fucking settings. It's insane the
Yeah.
lengths they went to. The fact that you can do like weapon for like the offset on screen and like how many just triple key bindings, which is really cool. They really, I mean, a month ago when they said that they're setting like a standard for a PC port, took it with a grain of salt. But it looks like they're really kind of holding true to what they said on that because they're really putting in some effort. Granted, it's still tech demo, but
Yeah.
and then the other thing, which was very interesting, is that you can drop your weapon. Like you can just press a button and you just drop your weapon
Oh,
on the
that's
ground.
nice. Yeah.
So
I
you
didn't
can
see the
give
PC
things to
port thing,
people
but
and
um,
yeah, no, it was really cool. I mean, it showed a lot, but at the same time, I'm just excited. I did get into the beta, so I will be
oh, you
playing it
did?
tomorrow. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
didn't
playing it
get in.
tomorrow. Super pumped.
Yeah. No, I watched the full match. That was like pretty much all I
Yeah,
watched, which was really nice to watch. I mean, I definitely looked fluid, and I like the way that it plays out. I even liked, just the way without advanced movement, with the slide and everything. It just felt like that
yeah.
would be very
I
useful.
think they've really merged the two versions of Halo together really well, and they even
Yeah.
showed off. I know the full match they showed off was on Xbox Series X. They showed off some PC gameplay on weapon drills, which are really really cool. And then they actually started the stream off with showing Xbox One gameplay, which is very interesting. But it's kind of cool that they decided to do that because I think they realized a lot of people aren't able to get the new consoles. And it was cool to see that the game actually looks pretty damn good on an Xbox One.
Yeah. That's awesome. Because we've been saying that the whole time that we need to drop the old systems,
Yeah,
but it's kind of good. And you know what? It probably very much has to do with the capabilities of Microsoft and their ability to upscale or whatever. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the case, but
yeah. I
at
don't.
least they
I
have the team. I don't know how they're dealing with it, but at least they have the team members to deal with that. And
yeah,
unlike CD Projekt Red, which I think bit off too much.
yeah. No, they don't have the infinite money that Microsoft does.
Yeah, I'm sure they had teams purely dedicated to the 360.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the
Um,
PC port. Yeah, no, it's excited. I actually really was hoping I would get in, but I didn't get in. But I'll have to ask you about it come Monday.
oh yeah, I'm gonna play it a lot. I'll definitely have some things to say. I'm sure.
All right, so I have one.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, Facebook and the Metaverse. Do you know about this one?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. So Facebook has declared that they are going to start developing the Metaverse.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it's actually really interesting. I mean, it's definitely gonna turn out nefarious, but for now, they are first like a couple of things. They are no longer going to do PC VR exclusives anymore. So they just released what is it, Lone Echo 2, which is, I guess, I've never played Lone Echo, but I guess Lone Echo 2 is it's like a Half-Life Alyx for the PC exclusive.
Wait. Are you saying the Oculus no longer has exclusives?
I think it's for the PC exclusive. So that yes, actually, I believe that they no longer have exclusives. I'm not really sure what a PC.
Yeah, because I'm looking and I don't see anything in the news about that.
So
I see that they're shutting down. Oh, that was back in December. Never mind.
so PC exclusive, Oculus PC exclusive. Yeah, maybe I can't type with the thing on. I have my microphone on my keyboard.
Yeah.
So it becomes very difficult to type. Can you just look up Oculus PC exclusives? And I think they're just declaring they're no longer going to fund the PC exclusives, and they're going to take that money and then they're going to put it towards Oculus developments, Oculus Quest developments. Anyways, I mean, there's that and then they're also deprecating the API in favor of Open XR, which is Kronos Group. So that's awesome. So that their API that you would use in order to interact with the device is going to be it's going to be an open API, which is really cool. And then they're saying they're going to start the Metaverse. So they're going to start putting money towards developing the first Metaverse, which, in their words, they said they don't want to own it.
They want to own it.
I think they want to own it, but I mean, they're saying that. Well, I think the quote was there's, and I get this all from Thrill Seeker, which is a really good YouTuber who does news on VR content. But it said that they were quoted, each company should not have its own metaverse, meaning that they're kind of saying that they all want to contribute to the same metaverse so that nobody really owns it.
So they want to make the internet metaverse.
They want to make the internet of games. So basically you would go from one game to the next and so it'd be Ready Player One style, the Oasis type thing. I mean, obviously not to that extent. But the idea is that, and also allowing for all games to be accessed from all devices, which seems the direction they're going. The thing I see in this is that's going to be the killer is their ad forward stance. So that they're going to very much try to use this to implant ads into that metaverse.
Yeah, especially because apparently, I mean, Zuckerberg was quoted saying, "I think he wants people to see them as a metaverse company, not a social media company."
Yeah.
And I don't think people see them as a social media company. They're an ad company. It's
company.
Pretty obvious. So, yeah, of all the people that I wish were doing this, Facebook is the absolute bottom of the barrel.
But the thing is,
doing this, but someone's gonna do it. So
if it gets done, and if there's a ton of ads, I mean, maybe their perspective on this is that, I mean, if you created a metaverse that was popular enough and united all the devices and all the players in one place, there's a lot of money to be made in that, even especially for ads. I mean, it's almost like they're asking the rest of the world to contribute to a thing that they can now make a lot of money on ads in. Because you put a billboard in a metaverse, I mean, hell, how many people walk by it? And I don't know, maybe you have one spawn point. But the thing is now they can create the spawn point, right? And they can put the ad right there so that you get as many views of that ad as you go through it. And if it's really cool, see, I don't know what it means to share the development of the metaverse, but yet they're the ones that want to create it. Very odd. Yeah,
I mean, that's why I go to the internet is not like one person. No one owns the internet. So it would have to follow some sort of structure, and there's a lot of things with Web 3.0 and all this other the evolution of the internet. So I don't know. It just seems weird. I don't know how they're going to do it.
I feel like they're going to try to make the metaverse, and then they're just going to allow other people to have content in the metaverse. That seems more accurate. And access. Anyone can access their metaverse because that just means more people, right? More money.
It just sounds like they're making Facebook but VR.
Oh God!
Which sounds fucking awful. Facebook, you can put your content on there. You can put your YouTube, your videos on. They have this entire Facebook ecosystem thing, and it sounds like they're just gonna find a way to put it in VR, and that sounds absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah,
But maybe
and
that's
also,
not what they want. But I don't know.
but right around the corner is all this, brain mapping technology, which is going to be able to allow, and this is directly being applied. I know there's some, I forget what it's called, but there's definitely a BMI, or was it brain machine is it BMI? Brain machine interface? Yeah.
Body mass index.
Yeah, but which attaches to a VR headset and allows you to control things with your mind. So I mean, there's that around the corner, which I also, and if Facebook owns the metaverse, I just don't want them. I mean, that's the next step, and they're already declared that they're going to go in that direction. Although I think they just dropped their research for creating a brain interface, saying it's too far off, which would be nice.
Maybe.
Or at least the funding towards it. Yeah, I don't know. Facebook is an interesting company.
Yeah.
They're super scary. They definitely don't care about us humans. You know, I mean, just their predatory algorithms that, I mean, they're there to try to make you view longer and stay more addicted to their products, which is really crappy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do want a metaverse. I think it would be nice. I think that it's one step to actually bringing us closer together. I think that through AR and VR, we're going to be our world is going to become smaller. Because we'll be able to interact with people in spaces and also in our own spaces that might be, across the country, or so we'll be more connected with people that we no longer can see due to geological reasons or geography.
Yeah, like the world being on fire.
The world, yes. You just, what is
Well,
this, Oregon again? Are they still burning?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Oregon burns every year. Can't they clean their stupid Sorry, I'm not going to do this because people are going to get mad at me.
I mean, California's on fire all the time.
It is. And I'd say the same damn thing to California, too. And I'm here.
So, have you heard of Facebook Horizon?
No.
So that is a virtual reality like world directly tied into Facebook that's in private beta right now. That's like like people think this is like the backbone of what they're doing. They're gonna turn this into, and it looks just like Playroom, and
yeah.
So it seems like they're gonna probably take this and expand upon. I don't know.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's grass.
There is grass. I need a Facebook account. Got to sign into that.
Yeah, they need to drop that. I mean,
oh, they will never do that, especially with this
know.
Metaverse shit, dude. They want everybody signing in with Facebook.
That's the cringe factor I get every single time, is that I have to sign up with Facebook. I won't get an Oculus because I just don't.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I don't want to sign up with Facebook. I don't want to be a part of that community. I don't use it. I don't like using it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I guess it's indoctrination, right? If you get the youngins to be Facebook users, then they're indoctrined for life. I mean,
yeah, but I don't think the youngins are in Facebook. Facebook is not a youngins platform anymore.
No, that's very true. I mean, it's
I mean,
Snapchat,
a lot of people like get Oculuses and they don't really care about it, so they don't like think about, oh yeah, I just need an Oculus account and it's a Facebook account, and they don't realize how deep those tendrils will go.
Yeah. No, it's and I think that them having the cheapest headset, that needs to be solved as well. That's being very problematic, because for anybody that wants to enter into VR right now, it really is Oculus's game. I mean, they have the best option for people to. Although they just had to recall their headsets because of toxicity in their foam.
Oh God.
Yeah, so they had they're no longer. I don't think they're actually selling headsets right now, and because of the big recall, they just stopped selling headsets. But then the next Quest version is going to come with a new foam replacement, or the right type of foam, the one that doesn't give you skin rashes or whatever it does. I don't know.
Speaking of ads and cheap headsets, I don't know if anybody's gonna ever be able to beat Oculus at the price game if they don't put ads, because Oculus can. like significantly
yeah.
take a loss at their hardware, knowing that they're going to make money off the ads that are in your face.
Well, you know who can is
Who?
Valve.
Valve? I don't.
Because
Yeah,
they
they
sell
could.
games. They have this super huge platform that
True,
now
Valve has infinite money, so they could take a loss because of infinite money.
yeah, Microsoft could take a loss too.
Well, they put ads in their shit though.
Yeah, but not as much. I would give it to I would trust Microsoft over. That's terrible, but
Lesser of two evils for sure.
yeah, lesser of two evils. But yeah, they could definitely do it. I mean, even with and I think Valve will come around. Honestly, the more I look at the Steam Deck, it seems like it's going to be a start for their next headset. Because it basically runs all the games, right? It if you strap that on the back of your head, now you have a device that runs all the games.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a tester for their hardware.
Maybe I would love if that turned into something.
Because they really need to go wireless and they need to go standalone. Someone else needs to go standalone.
Vive did.
Yeah, but it had a lot of problems. It wasn't good enough.
Even the brand new one?
Yeah, it wasn't good
Dang.
enough. Yeah. It lacks eye tracking, which is silly, and then I don't know. It's good, but yeah, it's not a big jump forward. It's not the big jump forward everyone was hoping for, or the Facebook competitor.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, you could definitely get that, and that would be. But I think people are still waiting for something that will rival the Quest 2, or what is? I don't even know. Are we at the Quest 2? Yeah, 2, 3.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. Now for this Horizon thing. Yeah.
Well, in other gaming news, did you see that Xbox Game Pass has made MLB The Show, which is a Sony-made game, the best-selling in the entire franchise?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it just, I mean, yes, they did go to multi-platform, which never before, so obviously they're going to sell more units, but it's like a drastic increase, and it's funny because over the years, both Jim Ryan and Sean Layden, I think, the old head of Sony of America, they both have talked about how the subscription-based model of Game Pass doesn't seem to make a lot of sense when it comes to $100+ million franchises, and Microsoft, just keeps chugging along with Game Pass, and they just keep funding all of these games, and then now all of a sudden the Sony game that's on there and is not on their own subscription service is making a lot of sales.
Yeah.
Like a shitload of money.
So they're actually, what do you mean by sales? Because isn't everyone just getting it through Game Pass? Is that considered a sale?
No, the thing with Game Pass is it seems like the data that Microsoft has shown seems to point that a lot of people buy games on Game Pass because you get a discount on it.
Why would you buy a game if you
get to try it because they're not there forever. But a lot it's very
some
interesting.
of them have been there for long enough.
Yeah.
I think the show's going to be there for at least the season, or whatever. It's going to be there for a while.
It's really odd data. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it just keeps happening. Like games just keep. It's not like all like 1-to-1, and a lot of people don't. I mean, I don't buy games on Game Pass, but it seems to push sales for some reason. Not a significant. No, actually, it's weird. So it's funny. Sony put their game on Game Pass. They didn't understand if Game Pass would work, and it worked.
I mean, it's possible that people start talking about it, and then a lot of people buy it. Maybe
well, yeah. I think it came out that the show already sold 2 million copies, but has reached 4 million people. So it's just that the fact that the game is just out there ready to play. Yeah, I think a lot more people are getting into these games.
And a lot of people don't have Ultimate, so in that case, if their friend has Ultimate and they're like, hey, let's start a season, and then that's the one thing about the show that I think is its best attribute is, starting seasons with your friends. That definitely, brings them into the next version.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to be a part of that. But yeah, it's really weird. I wouldn't have thought that, but I guess just through word of mouth would make it popular enough where enough people would need to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the turnover, I thought there was going to be a much greater turnover than there is. Seems like games stay there for pretty much ever.
Yeah, I mean it really depends on the game. I know the big publishers are pretty good with keeping it, like Rockstar. They only put one of their games on there at a time and they swap it out. And I mean Microsoft obviously is going to keep all of their games on there, but
Yeah, I think that they're pulling Grand Theft Auto. I don't.
oh,
I
I
might be
thought they
wrong
already
on that.
did that.
Did they pull Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, I know. I can't remember if they had because they had Red Dead 2 on there, and that was either they removed Grand Theft Auto for that, or they put Grand Theft Auto and removed Red Dead. I can't remember what's on there now.
I thought the last I checked, it seemed like Grand Theft Auto was on there, so maybe they removed Red Dead. Yeah, I think they did remove Red Dead. Maybe that
Yeah.
was what I heard. Um, but yeah, I guess that's good. I mean, it makes sense because then they get more sales on the other one, and people look at the same company. They're like, "Oh, I like this game.
Yeah.
What else? What else have they made?" I don't know who's doing that.
True. Yeah, I think it's just the discovery of Game Pass and that loop of like, well, my friends have Game Pass, I don't, so I guess I can buy this game, or they just join Game Pass and, create an even bigger loop of Game Pass people.
Yeah,
Sony's
yeah.
got to have it. Sony's got to figure this out and have their own thing really quickly.
Yeah, no, it. Well, I think that Sony has its own path, and its own journey. But yeah, it's gonna hurt in the end. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still excited if I could ever get a PS5. I would
Yeah,
be
I keep
excited to
seeing.
play it.
I think it was this week they released that the PlayStation 5 is like the best-selling PlayStation console now. They've already sold 10 million, and I'm like, how the fuck? Well, it's the scalpers. That's what it is. All the scalpers buying all the units.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they need to solve that.
yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well, what
I
have
don't
you
know.
been playing? Are you still playing Celeste? Did you get all the strawberries?
I didn't. I'm gonna go back and get them. I'm really close. Actually, I beat the game and then I went back and I got most. I think I went through half the levels and got everything, all the strawberries, and so I just need to do the second half to open up the entire game. Yeah, it's good. I started playing Diablo, which is funny. That's why I was kind of sad that this happened in the
Oh,
news.
yikes.
Because I was playing
Diablo
Diablo,
3?
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I like this game, and then I was like, oh, Blizzard, what did you do that for?
Yeah.
I was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, the funny thing is I started to get bored actually right around the news thing happened, because it's kind of a repetitive game. I forgot how repetitive it is.
Yeah. I'm excited for the new Diablo. I'm really excited actually for their remaster of, what was it, the first one? That
Yeah.
they're bringing to consoles. I think the art of that one looks really cool.
It's the second one, but yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, I'm excited. I used to watch this streamer, and Llama, I think is his name. Yeah, and he does. So I'm interested to see if he'll switch over to the new game.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, it's good. I mean, it's hard not to play Blizzard games. They have so many really good games. But what the hell?
Yeah.
Speaking of well, do you have a story? Because you said you had a couple.
Well, there was did you see the RTX card problems that New World was causing?
Yeah,
That was
forgot about
fucking
that one.
hilarious. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Nvidia came out and they're going to be replacing cards.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So for those of you who did not hear, New World, the Amazon game, came out, had a beta, and a lot of people played apparently. And something about the start screen caused the game to run so fucking much.
Yeah, it was
and
like
have
not
super
frame
reset-
capped or something.
Yeah, it was just insanely burning out these 3090 cards. And they eventually did fix it, and Nvidia said that they'd replace cards. But very interesting.
Yeah,
Good
where are they
old
getting-
lumberyard, right?
Yeah, it's just that is true. That engine should take care of that, but it is really sad for this company. But I'm still gonna hold out and see if the game's any good. I don't want them to die in a burning flame of, whatever they are. But I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
I
It
don't
doesn't
think-
bode well.
No, and I don't think Nvidia even came out and directly said what the problem was. Like, I don't know if it was an Nvidia problem, like something with their driver was causing this issue, or well, Amazon put out the fix. So I don't know what side the real issue lied on, but it looks like both are responding appropriately, so that's good.
Yeah, but it also shows that they didn't appropriately test the game before they put out the beta. But I don't know. I mean, it's very hard to get those graphics cards, so maybe that's the reason. And they're expensive, but I don't know if
Yeah,
it
it's
depends.
really interesting. It does seem like something that would be easily noticeable. I don't know.
But wouldn't it be can't you emulate different hardware and test it that way?
I mean, not you can't emulate another graphics card.
Well, it's just the API calls. I mean, isn't that the biggest thing? Is the difference between the API calls and from one graphics card? Because certain things change, right? So you have to
Well, I
be
mean,
aware.
I don't.
Or the
Yeah, I guess. Again, it really depends on what
Yeah,
exactly was causing the issue.
that's true. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you don't really test on newer hardware. You usually think that that's going to be okay. You test on older hardware to make sure
Yeah.
that your game can handle it, or that it can handle your game. But yeah, you know what? I think. I mean, do you think they're going to go out of business if this flops? Is
Amazon
that
Game
it?
Studios, absolutely. How many failures is it going to take? Not saying this one is, but like they've had
Crucible was yeah.
Crucible. Like I thought that was the end,
That was a
but here
bad
they are.
failure.
I just don't understand Amazon's. If this doesn't work, I don't understand who at Amazon can convince the people that they can make more money.
Well, what are they after?
That's the other thing. Like, what if they're after just making money? This isn't working.
Well,
Obviously, it's not working.
the thing is this is I believe the studio was started to promote the engine so that people would start using the game engine in rivaling of um, Unreal Engine. But it didn't really pan out. So like, what are they even doing? Like, what? No
Yeah, it
one's using
doesn't.
the engine, and
Yeah, like it's like okay, if you want to just make games, go use Unreal or on Unity. Like, just do something. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, I don't understand what if this fails, like what they could muster up as an excuse to keep spending millions of dollars on game
yeah.
development.
I mean, I guess it just depends how many projects they had going at one time, but I can't imagine it's going to keep going for very much longer.
No.
And Crucible is completely down, isn't it? Or is it still
Yes.
going? Yeah. Holy moly. I actually got to play that for 20 minutes. It was a disaster.
Oh, by the time I knew what that game was, it was already gone.
Yeah. I mean, even just the start of it, like the introduction to the game, and like it took so long and it was boring. It's like they have no game designers, which doesn't bode well for this game either, because that's how I felt. Like it just was really boring. It took very long time to get into the game, and I was bored. I just stopped playing. I'm like, I don't care,
Mm.
So I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening, and
I didn't
I
play
just
the beta. I'm not an MMO person, so I'm not going to play this game regardless. But hey,
I just don't,
maybe
I don't
now
think
with
they have the
World of
pull.
Warcraft having its problems, they can just sneak right in here. Maybe they
Yeah,
released
yeah,
maybe
maybe.
they planned all this. They were like, okay, the lawsuit's gonna be here. We got to get an MMO out that week because if we can hit that little gap of time,
Yeah, we could
hit the
just burn
boycotts.
everyone's. Maybe they're just trying to go after Nvidia. It's a plot for destroying graphics cards. They're tired of this.
This is straight corporate sabotage.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what their end game is, and I guarantee. I mean, they drop shit all the time, but
Yeah.
this seems like silly that they're holding on to it. At least the engine. You're right. The biggest thing is they should just get rid of this stupid engine
Yeah.
because nobody wants it. It doesn't work. So I saw this last minute. There's a game called The Veil: Shadow of the Crown, and it's all audio. It's coming out.
Vale, like VALE.
Yeah, VALE, Shadow of the Crown, all audio.
All audio.
Yeah, so it's an audio only game.
Is an audio on. Wow, that's funny. I had a buddy of mine.
Oh
A
yeah,
buddy of mine had this idea a couple years ago.
I remember. I
Yeah.
remember this idea, but
You
well,
know, when I had that, I'm like, I should just let someone else make it.
I'm kind of excited about this because if it's like Audible and like if it's choose your own adventure kind of novel, that's kind of cool. I could do more of these. There's I believe that Siri or whatever device, I think it was Siri. You At least it might have been a spoof, but you could do like an adventure game with it
Yeah.
where you could tell it where you wanted to go. Which is cool. I mean, I actually think that that's very much D&D style, and I think that this could be its own section of gaming, and especially for the blind. I mean, obviously, but I'm interested. I think it's cool. Somebody did it. I wouldn't do it, but
I know.
I'm
Like,
glad
yeah,
somebody did.
I still kind of wanted to do it, but I hope they did it really well.
Yeah,
And I'm probably gonna play it just to see. Yeah, I'm gonna download the demo.
yeah. No, I'm curious. I just saw that like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, this is awesome. Um,
I wonder if they're gonna have like you gotta have VR support, right? Like
why?
it should be so easy.
Well, I think 3D audio. You could
True.
use
Yeah, I guess you'd headphones.
you could use the Apple headphones, which are spatially they have spatial
Okay.
audio.
Speaking of that, holy shit, spatial audio is weird, and it's weird in music because
Yeah,
Apple. I mean, they released their lossless audio, which is really cool, and then they also released like spatial audio for Apple Music that you can enable. And I turned it on by default, or they turned on by default, or something. But like, it was really weird. I was listening to music and I was turning my head, and it kept like moving. It was so weird. It's not. I don't enjoy music that way, but for other things, it is really cool.
yeah. I've only tried the 360-degree music by Tidal,
Yeah.
and it's similar where it's like it has a direction. It's weird because it kind of doesn't have a direction, and I want it to. Like I want it to be coming from there. It kind of is, but it just doesn't seem to focus as well as I'd like.
Yeah,
I'm
it was like the way they. I'm assuming that they've implemented it with the AirPods is you put them in, and then once you play the music, that's your anchor point, and then once you turn your head, it keeps that anchor point as if you're literally just someone is playing music in front of you. But then I think after like a couple seconds, if you keep that anchor point, it readjusts it, but it doesn't like do it suddenly. It literally like rotates the music. It's really weird.
But yeah, you obviously can turn it off.
Yes, because it was fucking weird and not
Yeah.
what I wanted.
But where it's gonna, and we've talked about this before, where it's gonna blow people's minds is if they do AR content, and
Absolutely.
if you can see the little radio make, and they know, I mean, that's exactly where that's going.
Yeah.
But honestly, that in a game like this, that would be really cool. I think that because you could get a real feel where people are in the room, and I mean, you could almost tell stories that way where people are in your environment, and you're kind of a listener in the same way you are in VR, but you're a viewer, in a certain perspective.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious like what they made this game in because it seems like it's only coming out on Windows,
Yeah.
but the system requirements for it is an i3 with 4 they put megabytes. I'm assuming they mean gigabytes, but honestly, could be megabytes.
It's probably megabytes. I don't
And
think you'd mess
it's
that up.
2 gigabytes of space. Like this game is so big. Oh, maybe that's just the demo. I don't know, but it seems like this could be a great game to put on the phone.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Although I think it's probably very important that you wear headphones. So, and at least with a laptop, you get two speakers. On your phone, I don't know. You
Well,
know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm saying. It's
saying?
like a lot of people connect their headphones to their phone for music.
That's true. That's true. It might work on the phone, and maybe it'll port. But you're right. They maybe made it in a game engine that Unreal or
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that is
But
cool.
yeah, I don't know. Did this Falling Squirrel? Have they done anything else?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
they did a Pixel Skater,
Where are you seeing that?
the Veil, right? The Veil Shadow. So it's oh, it's
Yeah.
published by, developed. Oh no,
No,
and
it's
developed
developed
by.
by them.
Yeah. So if you click on them, you can see.
I'm on their Steam. I click on their Steam. Yeah, it's probably just I can go on the internet.
Tail Worlds Entertainment. Yeah, they have a couple games, so they have some background.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for people trying new things. I think that we need more of this. Um, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, and speaking of, I guess new stuff. Not really new stuff, but did you see that Interplay is coming back?
No.
The guys who invented Fallout back in the 90s,
Yeah.
they are coming back. I don't know. Where was this? Was it a tweet? That someone teased a relaunch of the studio. I don't know what they're going to be making. I wonder if they're going to just go right back to isometric games, which I don't know if
Ba-
it's in high demand.
Battle chess.
Yes.
Their 1988 classic. Uh, I feel
Yeah.
like they also made this like this car game with I think it was Interplay and Blizzard might have made this. What was that stupid game? I don't know. It doesn't have a list of their games. Oh, here games. Oh, it just says list Interplay games.
Well, like yeah, they sold off all their IPs.
Oh yeah, they had quite a few. They had Boulder Gates, which I didn't know that was Interplay. Battle Chess. Blackthorn, which was also Blizzard. Yeah, so they did a lot of stuff with Blizzard. It looks like.
Yeah, so it was
But
just
that
a
was
really
maybe
interesting thing I saw.
is that publishing though? Did they publish more or were they
They developed.
Booger Man?
They did Booger Man. Are you serious?
Yeah, Carmageddon. Yeah, they did it. Man, what is this? Clay Fighter? Oof,
Oh boy.
terrible. Oh, they did Descent. I really liked Descent. That was
Oh,
that.
they did Alone in the Dark?
Yeah, they did Alone in the Dark. Earthworm Jim. Yeah,
Wait,
they were
didn't-
huge.
They did Earthworm? I thought that was someone else.
I don't know. I'm seeing it here, and I don't see anyone else. Oh, they did it. Okay, so maybe they did a re. Yeah, so it says a
Oh, no.
version
Yeah, they
released
published.
on Wii Fair. They published it.
Earthworm, yeah.
Yeah, so this list sucks because it doesn't say which ones are published and which ones.
Yeah.
Kind of confusing.
So yeah, developers coming back. I don't know if we've ever had a developer relaunch like this, but again, I don't really know what that means.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they have no IPs, so they'll have to start over, right? Because if they sold them.
Yeah, I don't know if if the original people are still there, or if they're just like, we have the legal name, we're gonna use it. I don't know.
So did they, not to go back to the older thing you said, but did they show the editor for Halo Infinite?
Forge?
Yeah, Forge.
No.
Did they show any of that? I got to rewatch it. I only watched a part of it.
So yeah, they
As I
showed
said.
off they showed off the main, like what the menus kind of look like. They showed off the little bit of the battle pass of like how it works and stuff, which was kind of cool to see, just to kind of get some clarification on it. They showed off the customization menus, which a little bit was hidden, and they definitely were like, there's still things left, but it was really cool to see all that, which that pretty much they showed off everything that is going to be playable tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was they showed off the bots match.
Yeah,
Which
I
I
saw
think
that.
they said there's 4 levels of bots, which is like Recruit, Marine, ODST, and Spartan. But I think for now it's just Recruit, and they might give off like ODST or Spartan later in the week.
Yeah.
And then at the end on Sunday they're gonna have actually multiplayer. Like they're gonna have one day of matchmaking,
cool.
which is exciting. And then they also have weapon drills, which is you select a weapon and then it has like a little bit of a tutorial on how to use that weapon, and you can like get points and try to get high scores and stuff.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's really cool what they're doing, and I'm really excited.
Do you think they're still going to do an open beta, or are they just going to do these flights?
They're gonna just do these flights. I think they've been doing this flight system for a while, and I think it works really well for them. It's real. I mean, it's free to sign up.
No,
and
I
it's-
signed up, but you
yeah.
don't always. I mean, the problem is my Waypoint account has like nothing on it, so I think I look like somebody who doesn't play.
Yeah, well, I don't think my waypoint. I mean, I signed up like 4 years ago.
Okay.
I've been an insider for I was an insider for MCC's relaunch, so I don't know how they decided it, but they're definitely going to get bigger. Like this is the smallest one they're going to have. So if you're signed up, and they even said now like sign up now if you haven't already. So I think that they're planning to bring a lot of people in.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I remember playing the open beta for 3 off Crashdown or Crackdown, sorry,
Yeah.
for Crackdown, and that was just a lot of fun. I mean, it was just great because it was, a small taste before everyone got involved, and I liked that everybody could play, and there wasn't really anything you had to do.
Well, I mean, you had to buy Crackdown.
Yeah, but that's easy. And Crackdown was
That's
good. Well, it's easier
yeah.
than
Than signing up for free on a website.
Well, yeah, but you don't get picked. It's just like
True.
trying
Yeah.
to get
Well,
a graphics
they
card
got
or
it.
trying to get a
True.
PS5.
They got to go slow, incremental
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah. So I also saw. I didn't know that Battlefield had a creation tool.
Well, it
Uh,
didn't until now.
is this the first time? Yeah, the
It
portal.
is so fucking cool. It's funny because I'm literally staring at that article right now. I've been waiting to bring it up.
Yeah,
I
amazing.
am
I was looking at it
blown
too.
away. Yeah, Battlefield Portal, for those of you who didn't see, is like, it's not a map editor. They made that very clear. You can you can put in bots and players, and you can adjust. It's just custom games pretty much, but
Yeah.
with bots, and it's across like many Battlefield franchises. So Battlefield Bad Company, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 5, and 2042. So you can pin up like 2042 versus World War II, and it's just some of the things they were showing off. Like there was a defibrillator versus knives battle. There was a
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
just robot
Saw that.
little mini tank battle thing that was cool. But the other thing that they touched on, like just an ounce of time, was their scripting. And
Yeah.
they
No, I
have
know.
like a scripting thing, and they're like, "This is what the devs use." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, slow down!" And then they didn't touch it anymore. But I'm really curious how much power is going to be in that.
Well, they said that a lot of the things that people want to access very easily will be right at the top, and then if you want to delve deep into it, there's an article on how it's going to run, like how it'll be easily adopted, and they're going to have tutorials within the engine or the creation tool itself to kind of
That's
teach you how to
impressive.
use it. Akin to other game engines that kind of show you how to use the engine while you're using it.
Yeah.
So I think this is really cool, and I'm really excited to see a lot of different games. I mean, that even makes me more excited for the next game.
I love Battlefield 4, and I love Battlefield in the modern era. So I was really excited for 2042, even though that's in the future. But whatever,
Yeah,
it's not that
close
future. So I was already pumped, and I mean, I know that came out that there was no campaign, which I didn't care much for. I don't think the Battlefield campaigns have ever blown me away.
They're okay.
Yeah, so I was actually kind of excited that the whole dev team just said, no, we're doing multiplayer, and I think this is why. This type of tool, and there's another mode that they haven't even talked about yet, I think called Hazard Zone, or maybe that's the one they showed. I don't know. There's like 3 main parts of Battlefield 4 2042, and one of them has yet to be shown. So I think they're starting to really justify the $60 full price, even though it's only multiplayer.
Yeah.
I know it also has battle passes, but other games do that as well. I don't know. I think it's definitely EA, whatever, but I am super pumped.
Well, it just makes these games last for so much longer than they would, because they continually. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is a great example of what the allowing the community to build the world can do for your game. It's just been the top of the mark ever since it came out. It's been at the top of the list.
Yeah, and I think that we're still really early on in the whole games as a service thing, and it's definitely already gone over a ton of iterations since Destiny kind of started it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say MMOs were games as services for sure, but I think once it was brought to like that main public, it's definitely been taken off. So I think people are starting to realize that maybe this is how you make money in the games industry, because I think Apex is also showing a lot of people that you can just release a game and just stick with it and keep it fresh, keep it updating, and make money off of it. Because Apex, it just is crazy how like fresh that game feels every time you jump in. There's new stuff.
Yeah.
And I know I saw a couple articles about people saying like Apex shows that Overwatch 2 doesn't make sense, like at all. It's just like just update Overwatch. And I think we're starting, and I think Battlefield 2042, even though it's called 2042, in their imaging for like Portal and other things, they kept the 2042 really tiny. I feel like maybe Battlefield's starting to ask the question of, what if we just have a game called Battlefield and we update it?
Yeah.
Which is weird, but I don't know. And then Halo Infinite's doing the same thing. What if we just have a game called Halo Infinite and we just update it?
There's here and there for both, and I think it's a lot of the time when you want to clean house, that's when I mean, look at Windows 11. I know it's a terrible example, but
well, I mean, Destiny is an example of actually having to clean house and a game getting too big, so they had to sunset stuff. And I don't know.
That's true. They did.
I would say Destiny handled it pretty well. Like a lot of the stuff they did vault was really, really old, and not a lot of people are doing. And they even said like we can bring it back, and they've already done that. And I think that Destiny moving forward is probably the smart way to go, because I mean they brought back stuff from Destiny 1. So
Yeah.
technically like it's all in the vault, and it's that's a good way to keep it fresh. And when it, like with character games, you know, there is a limit of like too many characters to choose from. So they could honestly do that and vault characters and keep the meta flowing. And I don't know.
Yeah, we saw that with a lot of MOBAs that have too many characters, and it's just like overwhelming. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, they instead of vaulting characters, they just kept adding more and more and more and more,
yeah.
which is fun, but it just gets,
The
you
meta
know,
gets too
like League.
complicated.
Like I
And
think that's one of the biggest complaints when people, you know, choose other games other than League is just there's just too many characters. You
yeah,
know,
and
it's
I
like
feel
it's
like
hard to
Apex
define them.
is getting close to. It's a little too much, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I
Yeah.
mean, Overwatch has a lot more. I think. Yeah, they have a good amount more. I don't know how many, and I don't know if people feel like there's too much there, but
You know, the thing is this is very the way that Halo Infinite or Bun or sorry, 343 is talking. You know, and it the way that keep hearing them refer to it, even in this last one where they're talking about, oh, well, we might not have that now, but you know,
yeah,
we might bring it later, you know, as a service. And it kind of it seems like they're using it to calm down their fans. Like, you know, don't worry, it's not gone.
yeah, because
We can always bring
they
it back.
removed assassinations.
Yeah, that's the one I was gonna say is the
Yeah,
assassinations, which is interesting.
yeah,
But they're
I
like,
get it. Honestly, like they are cool, but they really just make you get killed every time.
well, what do you mean? Oh,
Like
because people are
going into
assassinating?
the animation, if you assassinate somebody, you have like 3 seconds
Yeah,
of
I know.
time that you're just vulnerable, which is why I liked Halo 5 for toggling it off. And I think, yes, they could have gone that route again, but I liked his answer that he said, which is we need to re-ask the question of how does this fit into Halo?
Yeah.
Because it, they brought it in Reach, and then all of a sudden it was like, and now we just never get rid of it. It's like it's a weird way to add something to like the core of the game. I don't know. I think it's fine.
Well, I mean, you know, so assassinations versus beatdowns, because you know, in two you could always kill somebody from the back of the head,
Oh well, yeah,
which
they
is an
still have
assassination.
those.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's just
there's
not the
still
animation.
beatdowns. It's just yeah, the anime. Which yeah, in Halo there's yeah the beatdowns, and I think in this game they call it like a back hit or something. But yeah, the
Okay.
assassination animations are gone. You can still one
Well,
hit people in the back.
the thing is it is the same thing, right? It's just one's an anime. I hated
Well,
the
yeah, one
animations. Yeah,
takes 3 seconds to perform. The
yeah.
other one's an instant, so you're not vulnerable.
Well, and because it's an online game, you can't do all the tricks that Doom does. You know, Doom does a lot of tricks to make
Yeah, exactly.
those animations work, like that you aren't seeing. Like I think that they slow down the characters around you and stuff, and there's all sorts of crap that goes on to make them function.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't think anybody could, other than the devs, could pinpoint what they do. Because like, yeah, they might, but at the same time, the animations are so quick, and the other thing is they're first person, so like you can do them super quickly, and because they're first person, you get to see a lot of the detail. But in Halo, they're third person, so you kind of have to go slower to get some of that detail.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I like that they're I don't know I'm kind of getting more excited about this Halo Infinite idea of it's just gonna evolve and with the especially with the story I don't know how that still I don't know how that corresponds but
Yeah, the one thing that frustrated me with five a little bit was you get really excited about a game type that would come around, you know, like Action Sack or something would come around, or they do something fun, and then it would be gone, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to see this
yeah
for. I
that's what
kind of miss
Apex pisses me off with that too.
I kind of miss the days when anybody could make a server and they could make it into anything, and like if you just found the shit you liked and you just played that forever, you know, like
Well, I know the Chat Master Chief Collection has custom server browsers now
oh, it does,
on
that's good.
cross-platform. Yeah, so I'm assuming it's gonna. I'm pretty sure they might have already said it's in Infinite. But I just hope they handle their rotation of stuff differently. But yeah, my big problem with Halo 5 was the maps and the game modes were just swapping so much, and they were
Yes.
just the maps is just like I'm playing the same shit over and over again. And it's funny because I know there are other maps that I've played, but I played them like a year ago, and for some reason they're not there anymore.
Yeah,
I
no,
really hope
agreed.
they don't do that.
Yeah. Or, you know, if the Forge is good enough, then that solves that. If they allow that to be kind of the backbone to that solution, and
Yeah.
it did, and the other editors, it wasn't good enough. I mean, it was good. Let me put it there.
I mean,
It was
Halo
good,
5
but
was fucking top of the line.
dude, I remember in Unreal Tournament, and I know this is our last minute. I remember in Unreal Tournament back in the day, 2004 or whatever. I think that's the number. But the levers were just like crazy. Like you would be in a giant kitchen, and there'd be like toast, and like because you could do anything. You could make the levels into anything, and like the design was really creative.
Well, it's on PC too. I mean, you can mod support and custom assets and stuff.
But I think we can, with a good editor, you could do that. And I think that's what we're going to see. Well, maybe not, because they said there's no level editing, but at least gameplay style with Battlefield.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just makes it really interesting, and there's a lot of options out there created by the community. And StarCraft's another one where that blew me away, how many different games there were inside that game.
I mean, they straight up gave the editor for that game out, like the actual dev editor.
And I don't even care, like, if it's on console, just give the editor and let people port it into or I don't know, have a way to allow people to upload it to the console or just to the servers.
Yeah, Halo 5 allowed for Forge on PC.
Yeah,
so you can Forge on PC and then it'll go whatever, but yeah.
Which is how it should be. But whatever, that's the show, and all you men at those game companies, behave yourselves. Because I like playing games, so stop it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and we will talk to you next week.